Okay, I know the titles sound controversial, but hear me out. Apes Oddysee and Apes Exoddus for Nintendo Switch has been in the wishlist for so many fans. But is it actually a good idea to port these two games for Nintendo Switch? For this, I decided to play Apes Exoddus casually on Nintendo Switch and record it all on a camera and sharing my experience how it was. For this, I wanted to say the experience in a nutshell was physical pain. Like, seriously, like physical pain. And let me just start from the beginning. Like, literally, my fingers began to hurt and the muscles of my hands as well. Like, even slowly during gameplay and even when I stopped playing. So let me begin my experience, how it was playing Apes Exoddus on Nintendo Switch. After almost 3 minutes of playing the game, I could already feel my right thumb slowly beginning to hurt a little bit. And that was just 3 minutes. But that's not all, as I also began to experience that there wasn't really an issue using the left joystick to move Ape around, as I realized using the joystick makes Ape an extra step when you stop, which really ruins my gameplay for so many times, and it was really annoying. Mostly because the joystick itself was such a small joystick comparing to like the PlayStation joystick. So for this, I felt myself like very uncomfortable using the left joystick. So there you can see me, I using the D-pad most of the time because I felt it was a lot more easier for me to use the D-pad. But despite this, it was a little bit uncomfortable for me how I placed my fingers on the D-pad. Same with when I doing it with the joystick itself. Not only that, but I also experienced an issue with using the R button to run. Mostly because the way how the R button is designed. Sometimes it won't respond correctly when you hold it down. Like I'm exactly talking about how you exactly place your finger on the R button. Just placing it just incorrectly, it will not respond at all, and it wouldn't even run, which was a little bit problematic for me when I was playing around. But thankfully, it didn't really ruin it at all for me. Or no, wait, actually it did. It did a lot. After reaching 25 minutes of gameplay, I began to feel more pain on my right hand. But for some reason, I didn't really felt any pain on my left hand for some reason. And I was just wondering why. What am I doing wrong with my right hand? This is where I noticed my own hand poses. If you notice that my finger is placed on the R button all the time, and this one is the cause to all of the pain from my hands, because with my left hand I am not really placing it on the L button. That's because most of Apes Exoddus is literally about running, so you are literally forced to place your finger on the run button all the time, and that is a problem for me as I'm playing this on Switch, because the position how I am placing my finger makes the rest of my hand muscle sore and slowly begins to hurt more, and especially even more in my finger, my thumb, and even my little finger for some reason. But that's probably because I've placed it downward on the console. When I realized that, I decided to place my left finger on the L button to see if I was right. And it looks like I was actually, as slowly I began to feel some pain on my left hand as well. So that means the R button is the culprit to why you're getting a painful experience playing Apes Exodus on Nintendo Switch. I mean, not really that you're forced to put your finger on the run button all the time, but you know what, literally every player is doing this, and you feel to yourself like you have to do it. And like I feel to myself like, of course I have to place my finger on the run button all the time to prepare myself from running away or reaching another place faster. So after completing Necromines, here's what happens. I started to feel pain like on both of my thumbs, my fingers, and yeah, like especially around here. This was like the part where it hurts the most. Like, no, seriously, even when I'm narrating for this video right now, it still hurts a little bit. Even a little bit on my fingers. Not that much, but still it hurts a little. After that, I decided to move on to tabletop mode to see how it felt like. This was slightly better than handheld mode, since I now have freedom to move my hands anywhere I want, since both of the Joy-Cons are loose from each other. However, this did not really solve the problem with me having to put my fingers on the run button all the time, and also with the joystick being awful to use as well. But you know what? I felt a lot more comfortable playing in tabletop mode. But still, it wasn't like a perfect gameplay as either. So after playing on tabletop mode for 28 minutes, I decided to switch on to TV mode. And the experience was pretty much the same as tabletop mode. Instead, it's on a big screen, which is better. But man, this was here where a new problem started to show up. Drifting. If you're a Switch owner, you know what I'm talking about. Drifting is when your Joy-Con begins to not respond at all, or begin to do some actions that you didn't even do by yourself. And my goodness, you have no idea how many times I got stuck on this place just because drifting. Like, I kept falling down over and over again just because the button did not respond with jumping or running. And like, oh my goodness, like I spent a ridiculously amount of time on this part just because of the drifting. After playing on TV mode for almost 10 minutes, I decided that's it. Nope, I'm not doing this. I decided to play with a Pro controller, and my goodness, this enhanced the gameplay 10 times better. Like, everything was so much better. It was all responsive. It was perfect. The Pro controller was so perfect for this game. So it's settled. If you want to play Apes Oddysee or Apes Exoddus on Nintendo Switch, do it with a Pro controller, not with a Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons. Because these Joy-Cons are just not really designed for a game like Apes Oddysee or Apes Exoddus. So after playing for 1.5 hours, this is how my physical pain ended up. Now it ended up hurting here and much more on my thumbs and on my fingers on both of my hands. And yeah, it still hurts a little bit, but not as much, which is okay then. But still, that was not really a really fun experience. But after going through this, I don't want to play Apes Exoddus ever on Nintendo Switch. Nope, never ever. I won't recommend you doing this either. Just scratch Exoddus and Oddysee on your wish list.